Hello, scholars. Maybe you didn't notice when you first looked at this picture, but this mouse has an ear-like growth on its back. Now, this mouse can't actually hear through this ear. Believe it or not, it can hear through these ears, but not this one, because ears are actually far more complicated than just the exterior, the pinna, which we're going to learn about very soon. Now, if you want to learn more about this particular mouse, look up the Conti mouse. It's actually very interesting. But today we're going to learn about hearing, so let's do this. So, sense of hearing. There are three parts of the ear. There's the external, that's what we were just talking about, with the external part of that ear that you could see, the middle, and then the inner section. And this provides us an ability to hear and actually stay upright, keep a sense of equilibrium. So let's start on the outside, the external ear. What you saw on the mouse was a reproduction of a pinna, or the auricle, that kind of acts as a funnel to collect sounds and funnel the sound waves into our ear. Then we've got an external acoustic meatus. Remember, a meatus is kind of an opening, kind of like a foramina, but a canal through bone or through something else that the sound then travels through, this external acoustic meatus. So you can see these two parts here. We have our pinna here, and then we have our external acoustic meatus, and the sound would travel down here past this ear hair to the eardrum. The eardrum is also called the tympanic membrane. It's at the end of the meatus that I just talked about. It's cone-shaped. It's semi-transparent. There's skin on the outer portion of the exterior, and there is mucous membrane on the deep portion of the eardrum. Sound that goes through the acoustic meatus changes this pressure and kind of, like a drum, causes it to vibrate back and forth from the sound wave. So we're back here again. You can see this cone-shaped external acoustic meatus, and we're going to move on to the malleus, incus, and stapes next. So now we're into the middle ear, and this is sometimes called the tympanic cavity. It's an air-filled space in that temporal bone. Remember, that's right here, your temples there. And it's got three bones called the auditory ossicles. Os, remember, is bone, and you've probably heard these by different names before. Maybe the hammer. Look at that fantastic handwriting. Anvil. And the stirrup. Here, you can just remember it as the malleus, incus, and stapes. Now the stapes connects to the wall of the tympanic cavity at an opening called the oval window. We're going to come back to this, but remember this. And these help the sound go from the eardrum to the inner ear. And we're going to talk about the inner ear next. And they also help amplify the vibrations. This is what they look like. You can see this kind of looks like a stirrup. This is the hammer that beats down on the anvil. That's where they get their names from. That's how to remember them. Just remember Miss if you want to remember the order. It goes malleus, incus, then stapes. And you can see they're itty bitty tiny little guys. This is a dime, and you can see they are very small. They would easily fit on the head of a dime. Alright, and you can see them in here. You see the malleus, the incus, and the stapes, which is going to connect with the oval window. Remember, oval window. that is connected to an auditory tube, which actually connects the ear to the throat. That's right, your ear is connected to your throat. And this helps maintain air pressure. When you go in an airplane, you're changing altitude very quickly, and this can cause the pressure to build up differently in your ears and be uncomfortable. So, like this fellow here, make sure that you chew gum, which he should be doing right now. But chew gum, and that will actually help you regain that pressure in that auditory tube of yours. All right, again, now let's head on into the inner ear. The inner ear is a complex system of communicating chambers called a labyrinth. Remember, a labyrinth is kind of like a maze, and it looks kind of maze-like. On the very outside is the bony part, the osseous labyrinth. It's in the temporal bone again. And then there's the membranous labyrinth, and I'm going to show you a picture where this makes a little more sense. But remember, the bony part's on the outside, but it's in a very similar shape, this membranous labyrinth, with the osseous labyrinth. Peri-lymph lies between the osseous and the membranous, and then endolymph is on the very inside of the membranous labyrinth. Remember, endo, inside, peri, peripheral. The peri is further outside, the endo is more deep. And you could see here, this white color is the bony labyrinth. You can see there is perilymph on the outside of that, and then we have our membranous labyrinth and our endolymph on the very, very inside. It becomes very important here when we're going to show the actual mechanism of hearing. So here's our friend the oval window again. Sound is actually going to go from the stapes, all those ossicles. It's going to come into contact here with the oval window. It's going to vibrate it. Sound is going to travel up to the apex of the cochlea, vibrating the membranous labyrinth, which we will see. Then it's going to come back down to the round window, and it's going to vibrate in this space. And we're going to see why that's important soon. Speaking of cochlea, this is actually what provides the sense of hearing, and that is divided into two compartments. The upper part is the part that sound travels up first. That's the scala vestibuli, and that leads from the oval window to the apex. The lower compartment, the scala tympani, extends from the apex to the round. And if you need to remember which one is first, because oval and round, those are pretty darn close, well, the oval is first alphabetically, the round is second alphabetically, obviously. O comes before R, and that's how I always remember. It goes through the vestibuli before it goes through the tympani. The round window is a membrane-covered opening on the wall of the inner ear, and we can see that here. But more importantly, this is actually where the hearing is actually occurring. So the functional unit of hearing is right here. This organ of Corti is what is where all this hearing is occurring. And so we see our scala vestibuli. That's where I told you the sound travels up through first, and that sound is going to go in transfer into the endolymph. It's going to vibrate this tectorial membrane. That's going to press on these hairs, which then send signals down the cochlear nerve, part of the vestibular cochlear nerve. We're going to see a video very soon that explains this better, so don't worry if you don't understand it super well. Right now, take note, the scala vestibuli has perilymph. This is where our endolymph is on the very inside, and then we have perilymph again, which is where sound is going to be carried back out. And the part with the membranous labyrinth in the cochlea is called the cochlear duct. and that's between the two bony compartments. It ends at the apex. That's the kind of the end of the cochlea, and it's actually in the very middle of that snail-like looking cochlea. And it separates from the scala vestibuli by the vestibular membrane, and it's separated from the tympani by the basilar membrane. And there's a whole bunch of fibers that lengthens the base of the cochlea to the apex. The spiral organ, or the organ of Corti, this is on the upper surface of the basilar membrane, stretches from the apex to the cochlea. Again, these are a lot of words thrown at you. The video is going to make it very clear, and it's actually a really neat video, so pay close attention to it. Just like we've had hair cells in like our taste sensations, we have hair cell in the ears as well, and they project into the endolymph of the cochlear duct. The tectorial membrane is right above that. It's attached to the shelf, and it contacts the hair cells. And when the tectorial membrane vibrates or moves over the hair cells, they get stimulated and they send signals. And again, you can see this tectorial membrane. It's going to stimulate these hair cells, which are going to send their signals to the brain. So here's the order to review. Vibrations, they come on in through the pinna, through the external acoustic meatus, vibrate the eardrum, the ossicles, and then those vibrations are going to be sent to the oval window, and that's going to travel along the scala vestibuli. Then it's going to pass through the vestibular membrane into the endolymph, where they move the basilar membrane. After passing through there, they enter the perilymph of the scala tympani, where they're going to move the membrane covering the round window, and that's where the vibrations get dissipated. This part right here, from 2 to 3, this is where really the hearing is occurring, but here's how the sound travels, the complete circuit. And here's that video. You should go here. If you haven't seen the video, my class, we actually have an educanon over the video, so you should go do the educanon right now. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. This has been Mr. Chamberlain, and I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I have.